first I'd like to say thank you to Elise and to the entire NARAL Pro-Choice America Board of Directors. To say that I'm humbled by this honor is an understatement, and I'd like to take my brief few minutes up here to explain to you exactly why. You see, long before I knew I was a gay man, I knew I was a man, and that by any and every measure of importance, women are my equals. But I've also known something that so many of the men in this room and across the country recognize every day that we stand up as allies to the women's and reproductive rights movement. And that is the reality of the privilege that we carry as men. On the afternoon in April last year when I stood up in chambers in opposition to a bill that would ban private insurance companies from offering private insurance to a woman for something that she has a constitutional right to do with her own personal funds, I asked my colleagues how it was that in a room of nearly 160 men, I was the man that respected women the most. There was one person in particular who also spoke that day that had a pretty profound impact on me. Another freshman legislator just like me, just 10 months apart from me in age, from the other side of the Commonwealth, named Erin Mulchaney. Just before making what would be her first remarks ever to a session on the House floor, Representative Mulchaney leaned over to me and told me that of all the things that she envisioned herself fighting for in the House of Representatives, and of all of the things that she thought her first remarks would be about, having to defend not just her constituents, but her own body as well was almost too much to tolerate. As a gay man fighting for my own civil rights, I find so much solidarity with the women's and reproductive rights movement. Thank you. Challenging masculocentric and cisgendered stereotypes and discriminatory policies is a struggle that we proudly share. But I'll say this, the integrity of my body, whether you respect it or not, has never been in question. What Erin reminded me in that moment is that she wasn't just fighting for what was right and good and constitutional as I was, but she was also fighting for her own bodily integrity. I'd like to wrap up as all good elected officials should, with an ask and a promise. First, we're in session this week, and I've actually brought Representative Mulchaney with me tonight. So I'd like to ask her to stand, and I'd like to ask you to join me in recognizing her. I think we just might all be working for her one day, so be really, really nice to her. And finally this, I promise that each and every time that I have the opportunity to stand up and proclaim my support as an ally, I will do so as loudly as I know how. And I will earn this award, not just for what I'm doing right now, but for what I'm planning to do next. Thank you, Erin. Thank you, NARAL. Thank you, all of you, very much.